The sun is not just the shining king, but the life source of the entire solar system. Its light, heat, and gravity deeply affect life and our planet. The sun provides the light and heat needed for life. Imagine if there was no sun. Earth would be an icy rock unable to support life, with average temperatures around -270 degrees Celsius. Light helps plants do photosynthesis, producing oxygen for us to breathe. From plants to animals to humans, all depend on the food chain, starting from plants that get energy directly from the sun. Thanks to the sun, Earth's temperature isn't as cold as Mars or as hot as Venus. The sun creates day and night. It heats air and water, driving wind, rain, and ocean currents. All these factors keep the planet's climate balanced. The sun is huge, about 333,000 times Earth's mass, creating gravity that keeps planets orbiting around it. Without this force, Earth would drift into space with no conditions for life. Since ancient times, the sun has been a symbol of life and power. Civilizations like Egypt, Maya, and Japan all worshipped the sun. It's also the basis for calendars, timekeeping, and farming cycles. Earth is about 149.6 million kilometers from the sun. Walking at 5 kilometers an hour, it would take about 3,420 years to get there if you didn't stop to eat or sleep. By plane at 900 kilometers per hour, a modern jet would take about 19 years to reach the sun. Light travels at 300,000 kilometers a second and takes only 8 minutes and 20 seconds to travel from the sun to Earth. This is a perfect distance. Why perfect? Because if Earth were about 140 million kilometers away, average temperatures would rise too much, causing water to evaporate and making the climate harsh like Venustu hot. If farther, around 160 million kilometers, Earth would be cold like Mars. With average temps around -60 degrees Celsius, water would freeze completely and life couldn't survive. So when will our sun go out and the solar system end? What will humans do? Right now, the sun is in its healthiest stage, like a person in their 30s or 40s full of energy. It uses hydrogen in its core to produce energy through reactions called nuclear fusion. Every second, the sun burns about 600 million tons of hydrogen to keep shining. Its efficiency is incredible. The sun will last about 5 billion more years if it keeps working like now. It's like a gas stove, burning steady, not too hot or cold, just right to keep Earth's temperature balanced. When the core runs out of hydrogen about 5 billion years from now, the sun will enter a stage called the red giant phase. Its core will shrink, like a weakening heart. The core will stop nuclear fusion, contract and heat up, triggering outer layers to expand. The sun becomes a huge red star, about 100 times its current size. Imagine the sun like an overinflated balloon ready to burst. The planets are like ants near a fire with no chance to survive. After puffing up and burning its last fuel, the sun will lose strength, and the sun's core will shrink to Earth's size, but with nearly the star's original mass. It will be a tiny, super-dense star shining faintly. At this stage, planets like Jupiter and Saturn orbit the sun, but it's cold, dark, and no longer able to support life. The sun becomes like a small glowing coal, unable to warm or light. The solar system becomes a graveyard. After billions of years, this white dwarf star cools down into a black dwarf, a dead mass with no light. That's when the solar system ends. Imagine the sun as a broken black balloon, no longer giving off light or heat. We humans have about 5 billion years left to save the sun or find a new home. Hearing 5 billion years sounds long, but how long? Let's compare it to Earth's history. Earth is about 4.54 billion years old, so 5 billion years more is longer than all the time Earth has existed so far. Compared to human history, modern humans appeared about 200,000 years ago. Boiled vegetables. War plunged England into a food crisis slowly and deeply. No good beef, no sugar, no fresh fruit, definitely none. The British government issued ration cards, forcing people to live on boiled potatoes, cabbage, and carrots all mushy, eaten with faces of resigned punishment. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old, so 5 billion years is roughly 1/3 of its age. In that time, stars could form, live, and die hundreds of thousands of times. 5 billion years is enough to create a whole new star system, awaiting faraway civilizations to rise and fall. For us humans, 5 billion years seems almost endless. We must not only survive that time, but grow, adapt, and maybe even leave Earth to survive. Nature's sun is truly the most powerful ruler of the solar system. Without it, nothing on Earth, from plants and animals to oceans, could exist. Humans never sit still hoping to catch its light. We always want to create our own sun. We need energy for life, turning on lights, driving cars, cooking. But current sources like oil and coal are limited and cause global warming. Artificial suns could solve those problems. People have started huge global projects. They have massive reactors like artificial suns. One is ITER, the world's largest reactor in France, a project of 35 countries including France, the US, China, Russia, and India, aiming to create temperatures of up to 150 million degrees Celsius, 10 times hotter than the sun's core, enough to fuse hydrogen into energy. At that temperature, you could boil seawater from 1,000 kilometers away. This project costs over $20 billion, as much as the budget of a small country. Currently, it takes more energy to maintain the reaction than it produces, so it's still not feasible. In 2021, China set a record with 120 million degrees Celsius for 101 seconds, a big step toward stable reactions. By comparison, a normal metallurgical furnace's core is only a few thousand degrees Celsius. In the UK, they built the Z reactor. In 2022, it produced stable fusion energy for 5 seconds. It sounds short, but it's a key milestone toward commercial fusion energy. In summary, we have about 5 billion years left living under stable sunlight, plus a few more billion before everything changes completely. But this reminds us that everything in the universe has limits, even the giant stars that nourish life on Earth. People in the future will surely look to migrate to another star system before the sun fades. But that's a story for millions of generations later. For now, just enjoy the golden sunlight and live each day happily. Thanks for following this story.